Hello, traders from whichever side of the country world you're watching me from. Welcome to today's morning market call. My name is Analyst at HFM. Quick disclaimer before we do begin: the information herein is only meant for educational and informative purposes only. None of it shall be construed as investment advice. Trading the financial markets do carry a degree of risk. But do not worry, I'm here to help you look at the markets the right way. Fancy, thank you for being the first one to join the live stream. I would want us to talk about the promotions that we currently have on. If you log in onto your HF website or application, then under the promotions segment, we do have the score and row, whereby you have the opportunity, you as the traders, to trade points and enter exciting lucky draws for your chance to win not only a brand new Beamer 4 Series, but also a UK trip for 2 smart TVs, official EPL jerseys, and funded accounts. Click on the read more. It's going to open a new tab whereby, once again, that's a BMW. That's a beautiful Beamer that we have currently ongoing. And I want us to look at these. Beautiful stuff. Once again, you have an opportunity to win a trip for 2, a brand new BMW 4 Series, 455-inch TVs. 20 winners are going to take home football jerseys of their own liking, and 60 people are going to be credited $200 each into their account. We are going to have monthly lucky draws. The next one is going to be in the next 18 days, 14 hours and counting, whereby how do you join? You go to your HF area once again, under the promotion segment, join the score and draw. Trade and points, allocate them across different draws for the exclusive prizes. We do have webinars that are currently ongoing, and I'm going to conduct one at exactly 7 p.m. today, whereby I'm going to talk about market structure-based trading techniques. You have an opportunity to register right now. If you do click register right now, it's going to open a new tab whereby you're going to be asked, are you a new client or an existing client? If you're totally new to trading, kindly input it on the new client section. If you are an existing client, input the email that you used to register for the account. And once you click register now, you are going to receive an email whereby it's going to have a link. You can join the webinars. We are going to have events. We are going to resume the Rift Valley tour. Once again, if you go to the event section, open a link, open a new tab. Once again, Rift Valley tour is about to commence. This is going to be part 2, whereby we are going to be at the Sunshine Hotel on the 25th and 26th November. This is going to be in Kericho. If you are around, this is your time, 25th and 26th of November. Then Eldoret, 27th and 28th of November at the KVDA Auditorium. Then we are going to conclude the Rift Valley tour with Kitale at the Pazuri Hotel, which is going to be on the 29th and 30th of November. Please ensure you book a slot right now. Moving over to the morning market call, we still have earnings coming up. We do have a buyer releasing their earnings before market open today. So many more companies, but the highlight is going to be Nvidia next week, whereby we do anticipate them to release their earnings after market close. Their earnings per share estimate currently is at $1.43. Quite interesting looking at how this is going to play out. What does this mean for us as traders? If I'm looking at the S&P 500, if I'm looking at the Nasdaq, also, if I'm looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, what does these earnings mean for me as a trader? How can I use these opportunities to find money in the markets? Now, whenever I wake up in the day, my first place to usually look at is economic calendar. This is whereby I generate my ideas. I look at what could move the markets in the near future. Now, we had Korea releasing their unemployment rate, whereby the previous number was 2.5%. The data actually ticked to the upper side at 2.6%. Jobs in South Korea currently stands. Now, we don't have any major news releases in the entirety of Asian session, but we have just received inflationary numbers for Germany, whereby this is the CPI numbers. Now, if I don't know what this means, I click on the title here. It's going to of what the CPI numbers is. Now, the year-on-year indicates this is a yearly-on-yearly release previous to October of last year, whereby last year October was 2.3%. We were having a consensus of 2.3%, and actually the data came out at 2.3%. Now, usually you want to look at the effect. A high reading is usually seen as bullish for the euro, while a low reading is usually seen as bearish for the euro. If I can refresh my page here, and let's look at the data in depth, whereby there's usually a place you can look at the official document that was released at that particular moment in time. That's going to enable you to look at, okay, what does this mean? Whenever I'm looking at the euro, data has come out for Germany. Yes. Is it positive or negative? Should I be looking at buying or selling prices? This is whereby I would want you to engage with me. Which are some of the assets that you want me to look into? Currently, at the moment, the data is not yet updated, but we shall look at it, whereby there's usually read the official report that pops up after the news has been released. Today is going to be a relatively quiet day towards New York session, apart from the member speeches of the Fed that we do anticipate. For example, we anticipate Fed Williams' speech in the next 7 hours, 10 minutes, Paulson's speech, Waller's speech, Bostic's speech, and Miran's speech. These are members of the Federal Reserve. And for me as a trader, I want to listen to their tone. What do they anticipate in the near future? Now, if I look at this article here, whereby this is the FedWatch tool, the CME, part of the CME group, whereby the next FOMC meeting is going to be in the next 28 days, 11 hours and counting. And it usually looks at the probability of where interest rates will be set in the near future. Now, looking at it from this perspective, the current target rate is 375 to 400 basis points. Now, there's a 34.4% chance we're going to have interest rates being held where they are currently at the moment. And there's a 65.6% chance we might actually see interest rates being taken further down to 350 to 375 basis points. Hello, Bobby7847, glad to see you. Now, looking at the previous data on the 1 month to this was 10th of October, the probabilities of having interest rates being held where they are currently at the moment, 0.1%, and a 91.7% chance that they are going to reduce interest rates to 350 to 375 basis points. But looking at it currently at the moment, now the Fed Reserve don't have key data. Let's take, for example, non-farm payroll. Last month we did receive non-farm payroll. The month also we didn't receive non-farm payroll. And from the most recent speech of the Fed Reserve, he did mention, and I quote from Jerome Powell, what do you do driving through fog? You do slow down. Now, currently at the moment, for them to justify interest rate cuts in the near future, they would want to look at inflation down, employment stabilizing. Now, at the moment, this data is not yet being released to the markets, and we do anticipate the government is going to open real soon. We are waiting for the bill. It has already been passed to the House, and we are waiting for Donald J. Trump to sign it into law, whereby it's going to offer an extension whereby the government is going to open up once again, but this is going to be a short-term remedy of what is happening currently at the moment, and it would take effect up to 30th of January. And the question that traders are asking themselves right now is, what will happen after 30th of January? Only one way to find out. Looking at the stocks currently at the moment, for the year to date, NVIDIA is up 42.3%, 42.03 to be exact. Apple is almost up 10.5%. Microsoft, Google up 52.8%. Avco is up 49%. AMD just released their earnings last week, whereby they are from the year, since the year did begin, we are looking at 94%. Yes, Nega, thank you for joining the Instagram from Tanzania. Quite interesting. We are waiting for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the next powerhouse. They are going to release their earnings next week. What does this mean for me as a trader? If the statistic comes out positive, should I be looking at more buying opportunities? Should I be looking at holding more positions on NVIDIA? We are going to go over the charts in just a few moments' time and look at how this information could be applied to real markets and potentially find probabilities as a result. Looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin year to date is up 10.79, currently trading at $103,000 a coin. Ethereum is up 3.49. USD Tether is almost at break even ever since the year did begin. Solana is down negative 17.22%. Now I would want us to switch over to the charts, and before we do that,
introducing the HFM Shield 500 account, a revolutionary new account specifically for new traders. Within your first 25 days, trade with a peace of mind knowing up to $500 in losses are fully covered as tradable funds. It is your chance to learn, practice, and grow with confidence. Ready to kickstart your trading journey? Sign up today and deposit within the first 10 days to get full access to this exclusive offer. Click below to get started, only with HFM.
Beautiful stuff. You do have an opportunity to open the Shield 500 account, whereby if you do register within the first 10 days, you are eligible for the Shield 500 account, whereby deposit anywhere between $10 and $500. Whatever losses you do incur past 25 days, we are going to refund you up to $500. Quite interesting. This is going to give you the boost as a new trader of trading market conditions, basically risk-free. And all of this is provided to you by HFM. Epic G, welcome to the stream. Stephen Bugwa, welcome to the stream. Steve Rampez Wangare, also a special shout out to you. Now, looking at the charts currently at the moment, looking at gold has been quite interesting. And if I can zoom in to the most recent price action ever since the week did open on Monday, we did see prices move quite aggressively to the upper side on XAU USD, whereby it did gain almost 2.94%. This was more than 1,000 pips in the market. Stephen Bugwa, thank you for the hearts. Give me some more fire in the charts. Give me some love. Give me some warm-hearted claps in the chat section. Looking at yesterday's price action, ever since Asian session, it did move to the upper side. We did correct aggressively towards New York session, but the markets closed almost where it did open. Quite interesting. And we did see today Asian session move quite aggressively to the side. And I was looking at this piece of price action, and it was quite interesting, whereby look at how prices is moving to the downside, but it reached a period here whereby we started having candlesticks that have smaller bodies and larger shadows. This was a sign, this is a candlestick pattern, that whatever was happening to the downside is now losing momentum and buyers could start coming into the markets. We just had this massive bullish candlestick closing well above the 10 period moving average currently on my chart, and we are getting signs of buyers continuing moving to the upper side. If at all we do close above 41.45, which is a psychological level, the most recent region of, would consider looking at more net long opportunities on price action on gold metal. Whereas on the other hand, we do have this region of support forming at 4,098, which also once again is a psychological level. If you do have a massive candlestick that breaks through the downside, closes well below that region, I would consider looking at shorting opportunities in the market. 21 Forrester, welcome to the stream. Now, this is going to be quite interesting how the markets do develop as time moves on. Now, we are in day 12 of November. We do have 12 more trading days to go, and the monthly candle is still expanding to the up. What does this mean for us as traders? This means there is a lot of opportunities. Looking at silver, already has started the move to the upper side. I've just seen my good colleague, Mr. Samson. Good morning, brother. Shalom. We have seen the prices of silver already pushed to the upper side quite aggressively, whereby ever since the lows that was created to the highs, prices of silver has moved more than 1.83% the past 4 hours of trading. Quite interesting looking at this, and prices of silver are quite bullish considering prices where it is currently at the moment. Now, why are the markets printing the way it is currently at the moment? It's because of the uncertainties that we are receiving in the markets. The government shutdown is supposed to end, but this is only a temporary solution. In the long term, we do anticipate that they're supposed to vote before the year does end. We also do anticipate this funding is only going to last till 30th of January. What is going to happen after 30th of January? And whenever there's uncertainties in the markets, we usually see safer havens push to the upper side, and we have seen silver move ever since the markets did open on Monday to where it is currently at the moment. Silver is up almost 7.15% in less than 55 hours of trading. Quite interesting, noting how this is going to play out as the week does progress. I would consider net long opportunities on silver if prices do retrace. If I can pull a Fibonacci from this low to this high, if prices do come back into this region of resistance that was formed during Asian session and we get signs of buyers into the markets, I would consider looking at more net long opportunities. Currently at the moment, it is trading about $50 an ounce, which is a psychological level on the silver metal. Now I would want to look at NVIDIA, and I would want to go to a higher time frame on the look at how prices has been playing out ever since mid-April of this year, whereby there were talks of the markets are currently crashing as a result of the tariffs that when Trump did take over office earlier this year, we did see tariffs being impacted and prices aggressive move to the downside. Looking at the NVIDIA, this was almost from the highs that was created early January to these lows. This was almost 42% to the downside in less than 61 trading days. But NVIDIA has had one of the best bull runs in history, whereby as a result of those lows that was made to where prices is currently at the moment, NVIDIA has gained more than 120%. Once again, they are due to release their earnings next week on Wednesday. If it does come positive, I do anticipate the share price to continue moving further to trend continuing. Currently at the moment, we are seeing prices retrace on the 50 period moving average, and we had a massive rejection. This was back on Monday. Tuesday did gap to the upper side quite significantly as the markets are already pricing in the information that is supposed to be released next week. We have bull money effects. Thank you for joining the stream. You want me to add the 20 period moving average? Sure, I will add the 20 period moving average on my chart. If I can just set my period here. Let me have it at blue. Beautiful stuff. You can see the 200 period moving average is well above prices, meaning that this signals that the trend is very, very bullish to the upper side. Just tap a make and grab support buys. On which asset are you looking at bull money effects? That's hold on. I would want to introduce my mentor, Mr. Samson Mzera. Thank you for joining the stream. Welcome.
Hey, Ian. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Samson Mzera, and today, number one, we've had the government shutdown, talks of it being ending, and I think it's a very interesting day to look at the markets. And Ian, just one thing I've seen you have pointed out, the silver chart. Maybe you can go back to it a bit.
Which time frame do you want me to look at?
Probably the 1 hour.
Okay.
All right, so we have had, this is the 1 hour, so meaning the lines in between are midnight, yeah? So we've had silver gaining so much this week, and we have seen it's almost moving like how gold has been moving for the past year. And what is the reason behind this? If you're looking at silver, this is something you should be very interested in, especially if you're trend trading or if you have a trend following system, then this is an asset you should be looking at. Now, first reason is there have been rumors of a silver squeeze. I don't know if Ian, I don't know if you've encountered periods in the market where we've had these terms being used regularly. I believe we had back in the day the GameStop squeeze. You remember that one?
The short squeeze, yeah.
So basically, what a squeeze is when we have a large number of traders coming into the market to buy a certain asset. Yeah, especially if people are in a short position, then to cover your short position, meaning you have to buy back the item. Yeah,
exactly.
So when prices go up, it makes people who have sold silver to close the position or effectively buy back silver, and that is what causes that parabolic movement of price. Now, why is are we talking about a silver squeeze at the moment? And it's because of a number of things. Number one is there have been talks of major exchanges, silver exchanges, where, for example, the COMEX is the Chicago one, and we have others around the world. They say they are running out of silver. So guys are buying on the exchange, and there is no inventory, there's no silver for us to deliver. Yeah, for guys to deliver. So what does that mean? We have a large number of buyers on a small supply of silver, and that is causing people to rush, or exchanges to rush to get more silver. So that demand has been really pushing prices higher. Yeah, and then also more ETFs, an exchange traded fund, which is simply an asset that is used in the US and in other countries where investors can get into such assets. So even for exchange traded funds, they're saying they don't have enough silver to facilitate the demand, and that's why we're seeing prices going up like that. Now, if you're doing analysis on this chart, obviously you're using technical analysis, but you've already had a clear bias of where silver price is going. So I believe this is a very good chart setup. If at all, if you don't look at silver, then I think maybe you might consider it in your analysis. But I believe this trend might be sustained for quite some time. Although you still have to do your technical analysis, you still have to confirm your entries and things like that. So silver has been very, very interesting to look at. So if you have time, guys, just check out the chart, see if you can pick out any trading opportunities on this chart. Yeah. All right. Also, I've seen there's gold. The chart on gold. I'm not able to see the comments, I think. Am I? All right. I'm able to see the comments. If there are any comments, Ian, maybe you let me know. All right. Second chart is gold. Yeah. Now, gold has an interesting story this year, because remember, people are talking about this theme of de-dollarization, yeah? And it runs much deeper than guys think, because it's China that is running the narrative that we need to move away from the dollar, and they're actually offering their currency as a backing, yeah, as the global currency to use. However, countries didn't trust that, because many countries didn't want a repeat of what happened in the 70s. Then what happened is China started buying gold, and that's why we've seen gold going higher and higher, because the thinking is if they can get a lot of gold backing their currency, then people will actually start to trust the Chinese yuan as a medium of exchange. Yeah, so they've been buying gold all this time. They've been propping up most of the exchanges. So now we have quite a huge exchange in Hong Kong that is now well connected to other countries. So you're able to settle your price for gold. And one fun fact is they don't actually use the spot price of gold to buy and sell. They use the 200-day moving average price. So if you're looking at gold, the 200-day moving average price is the price they use at the exchange to settle orders. Yeah, so that's one key price level, because it smooths out orders. Because a lot of institutions, if you're dealing with a large order, you don't want the price moving around all over the place. So you'd want something that is more stable. And those are the rumors at the moment. They've been using a 200-day moving average price to settle any order that comes through the exchange in Hong Kong. Yeah. Still, you're about to confirm those rumors, but that's what a lot of analyst sources are saying at the moment. That means also the 200-day moving average. Are we on the daily chart?
Let's switch over to the daily. We are now on the daily. Currently, on the 200-day moving average, price of gold is at $3,395 an ounce.
Yeah, exactly. So if at all you see gold moving dramatically lower, then that's a key area. That's a key area for you to look at, because that's where a lot of institutions are settling their orders.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where a lot of institutions are settling their orders. Yeah, so it's very important to look at that. I know we've already discussed about gold. I don't think I'd add more than that. I was just introducing the fact that it's going institutional. Many institutions are now using gold and switching over a bit from using the dollar, and that is why you're seeing that parabolic move higher and higher. Yeah, I think that's it from me, Ian. I was just looking at the metals. I was trying to highlight why we're going to have an interesting 2026 and even an interesting December in the event we are following also what is happening with the Fed and also what is happening over in China.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Once again, looking at seasonality speaking, we only have less than it's only November and December for the month, for the year to conclude essentially. And if prices of gold have been buying, they will want to cover their positions. And it does make sense whereby right now supply and demand have inefficiencies whereby they have to short squeeze, as you have mentioned, Mr. Mzera, whereby we did see gold actually move to the downside quite aggressively. And this was towards mid last month, whereby it did tank more than 10%. This was more than 4,700 pips to the downside in less than 5 trading days. This was quite interesting, and we are now seeing signs of buyers coming into the markets. We did have the monthly candlestick open, move to the downside. Currently, at the moment, bulls are really firing on all cylinders. Looking at the H1 time frame, London session has just opened, and we are pumping to the upper side. Yesterday, we did have a lot of liquidity, especially looking at it from this perspective. Yesterday was a holiday in the United States, but during New York session, we had prices aggressively moving to the downside. And I would want to look at the dollar index, whereby it did reflect the price action quite seriously, whereby once again, when gold moved to the downside, the dollar index also did move quite aggressively to the downside, and we are currently retracing. We did gap to the upper side when the markets did open, and prices are trading well above the 10-period moving average currently at the moment. We do have signs of bullish candles in the markets. I would consider looking at more net long opportunities on the dollar index. Also on gold, yes, this means that these prices could potentially move further than 41.50 currently as it stands. This is quite interesting, understanding how the central banks, especially Shanghai Stock Exchange, pushing money in terms of gold. If they are buying currently at the moment, if their prices are currently at 3,300, my lord, that's quite a significant amount of money from where prices are of gold, meaning they are buying and selling of gold 20% below the market price. That's a lot of profit for these people. Quite interesting noting. This is the opportunities that we have currently at the markets right now. Once again, HFM has provided us with a lot of opportunities, including the Shield 500 account, whereby you have an opportunity to open the Shield 500, whatever you deposit within the first 10, and between $10 and $500, whatever losses you do incur within the first 25, we are going to refund you the full amount as bonus. Once again, this is the time for you to be executing in the markets. This is the time for you to get involved with how Forex trading does work. As out to Stephen Mbugua, and I see a lot of fire in the charts. Thank you guys. Follow us on our socials. We are going to have a giveaway on our socials one of these fine days, whereby we are going to wake up in high spirits as we usually do, and we are going to credit you. We still haven't decided. Tell me in the chat section, would you want $100, $200, $500, or would you want $1,000 to be credited to you, the traders? Kindly put it in the chat section. Whoever has the best comment, we are also going to find something nice for you. That's going to be it for the morning market call. I can see we don't have any inquiries currently at the moment. This is your time. Okay. Yes,
just a quick one, Ian. I don't know if you've had a chance. Have we checked out the calendar yet?
Yeah, let me pull it up once again.
We have CPI tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, we do have CPI tomorrow, coming out tomorrow. Let me just switch over to tomorrow. And I had an inquiry. We haven't received non-farm payrolls for last month and this month. Would it come out at the same time? That's something interesting that I would also want to do some research on. When the NFP numbers drop, are they going to drop all the numbers at once?
Yeah, because they've done that before. Remember when they drop NFP, they usually drop the previous month's reading. And if there are any revisions from the other month, they also drop them at the same time. So they're definitely going to have more than one reading on the next NFP reading, so that we have that smoothened data. We can't have missing data points in the reading. So yeah, definitely they're going to drop for the past 2 months. And how you're going to use this as a trader, just look at how the trend is going instead of looking at one data point. So has employment generally been increasing, or has it gone down as a trend? So you look at the trend instead of just one data point if you're reading these two. Yeah. So with the inflation, just as a comment, we are expecting a lower reading. Yeah.
With the year, on the month-on-month reading, we are anticipating a higher reading compared to October.
Month-on-month?
We are anticipating a higher reading, 0.2. We are having a forecast of 0.3%. But on the year release, the previous number was 3. We are anticipating also 3.
All right. So if at all we see a slightly higher reading, then that's going to give us confidence with that strong dollar theme, the dollar index that you're talking about earlier. So if at all tomorrow the reading comes in positive, then that should confirm your bias for the day. However, there is expectations that inflation is coming in higher, and that should support slightly the dollar index. So if I'm looking at gold also, I'll be very careful as to how I'll trade it today, considering I might see some strength in the dollar.
Mr. Mzee, I have a question from Sanzunze. Samson, I'm from Kitale. What are your plans? Specify, Mr. Sanzunze. Do you have any plans from Sanzunze?
Kitale will be the last event you're doing for the year, and that is the end of this month. If you've not registered, there is already the link for the Kitale session. We will be there at the end of this month. So you can just go to the website and register for that event. I'm seeing it's over there, 29th and 30th November. So tunafunga na Kitale.
Beautiful, yeah. Beautiful. I'm seeing 21 Forester 500 is good to start with. We are going to pick one of these fine days. We are all going to pick one of you, and we are going to give a lucky draw as a special thanks of appreciation to you, the traders, for making all of this possible. That's going to be it for us for the morning wrap-up. Stay safe, take care of yourselves. We shall see you in the next one. Mr. Mzera, would you want a giveaway at the end?
Pardon?
Would you prefer we give them an iPhone?
We have a giveaway coming soon. However, we will be doing a giveaway for this month on X. So stay tuned for our post on X. We're going to be giving away something for traders. So it's going to be a little challenge that we will have on X. So if you've not followed us on X, also the handle is still HFM Kenya. Head over there right now and follow us. And very soon we will be posting a challenge there. It will be an electronic device. So I'm not going to say what, but it will be an electronic device. So it's going to be a challenge very soon. This month. Actually.
Interesting. Yeah. Stay tuned. We shall give away an electronic device. Could it be an iPhone? Could it be a trading station? Only one way to find out. Once again, stay safe, take care of yourselves. I shall see you when you see me.